Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Indirect Knowledge. I'm Chandra, your favorite monk, and today we're going to do a nice tarot card reading. And today's reading is for Erika. Erika, Erika has a pretty cool question. At least I'm really curious about this, and I'm the psychic, yeah. So, anyways, so you would think like, why would you be curious? I don't know. No, it's not that. It's just I like these type of questions. So Erika is wanting to know. She's got to have a conversation with her boss tomorrow, which is Monday, and wants to know exactly what the situation's all about. So get a little hindsight. They say hindsight's 20/20, right? If you know what's going to happen in advance, it does kind of help you kind of be more prepared, right? So let's find out exactly what the situation is. I'm just going to go ahead and cut these cards. And then, whoops, we had a jumper card. We're going to lay these out. Ooh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Ah. Oh. Just like here, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. Very, very, very interesting. Let's get right into it. So the past, only this King of Swords. Kings are about authority. This is about you having authority over your mind, over what you had going on. And, you can use that authority however you like. And kings, obviously, can control things. So kings are about control, and they're also about authority. This is about creating foundations. So in your mind, you created foundations for yourself. It's about kind of, what's fair is fair kind of thing. You can make decisions based on information that's presented to you well. And this is kind of like you're a very rational person. At least this is what has been in the past. So when you make, when you're forming or making formulations about things or trying to get an understanding about things that you're kind of not sure about, the previous tendency was really to, we'll just make decisions based on what we know and based on the facts and the information that's presented. Where we're at right now, and again, it's Sunday right now, but where we're at right now is here. And look at this card for just a moment. We see a woman. She's blindfolded. She's got swords. There's two swords. Swords are about mind's thought, ideas, things on that end. There's two of them. So she's kind of blind to two different things. So she doesn't really know, right, exactly what's going on. She doesn't know which choice to make or what exactly it's going to be. So what we're doing right now in this moment is like, I don't really know, like, is it this that we're going to have this conversation about, or is it this? So we have an idea of two different things. It's two choices that it could be, at least in our mind anyway. Swords are about the mind. And the moon is very, very interesting in this here because the moon is very hypnotizing, but moon is also about not always seeing things that we think we see. But it's hard for some people, especially people that are very rational or practical, because sometimes, we have an idea in our mind about what something is going to be, but the reality maybe is completely different. And that's sort of what is being suggested in this card a little bit. Let's move on to the Six of Cups. It's a really great card. I used to get this in my own readings all the time back in the day. This is the cup of nostalgia. Okay, so nostalgia, relationships. But you see an older boy, a younger girl, and you see him very caringly giving her a chalice, a cup of flowers and a bouquet of flowers and things. And this is a very kind, humbling kind of card. But it's really about nostalgia, things from the past. It really is indicative of new elements of things entering your life, but things that are coming into your life that are linked to the past. And that's what this nostalgia card is all about. It's like, maybe it's maybe remembering or something like that. Like things from the past are coming back around again. And it could be things that you need to work through in order to create a better future for yourself. You know what they say? They say repetition creates persuasion, right? Words like remember, repeat, relive, remember, like these kind of words are very repetitive. RE is repetitive, repeat, remember, relive, all these kind of things. It's kind of what this is about. It's kind of like reliving the past. Let us look at the energy that's surrounding that Two of Swords that we talked about a minute ago. It's a Magician. So this is a very cool card because we had a 2 that was a 2 of Swords, and now we have the 1 in the Major Arcana. In the Major Arcana, this is like major life events. Okay, so we're dealing more with that. The 2 of Swords is more on like a day-to-day basis. So when we have a card like the 1, which is the Magician here, that is kind of giving us more information about this 2 of Swords, where it's at, or telling us like where we're at in terms of our journey on things, is this 1. Now this is really interesting because the Magician is really about, having control of our resources. The Magician has control of his mind, has control of his emotions, has control of his actions, putting forth different actions and all, and is also fairly grounded and, materially capable of handling situations. So it's a pretty good place to be. And that's where this 2 is coming into play. It's letting you know that, regardless of what this conversation is going to be about, at the heart of it is knowing that you have all the tools and the resources to be able to handle this conversation and know that this is going to be fine. So it's a very positive card. What you would like as far as the outcome goes is this other 2. And we talked about the 2 of Swords, but what you would really like would be this 2 of Wands. Okay. See a guy there with holding the world in his hand. You got the wand in one hand and one behind him. So normally when this card comes up, it's about conflict, almost like a conflict of like, well, it's not a conflict. It's more about like a decision, but it's a decision that is chosen from the past or chosen from the future. Do we move forward or do we go backwards? Normally when this card comes up, the advice that I would normally give someone, like as it comes up, is to, like if you're starting a business, for example, it might be to put together a business plan or to do something along those lines. If it's about relationship and stuff, it might be like getting a piece of paper out and a pen or something like that and kind of putting down what it is that you're looking for in a relationship. If it's something to do with career, which is the case with this particular thing, like a job situational, it might be doing a little brainstorming, trying to get some ideas coming about and how you might want to deal with those possible scenarios. And it wouldn't be bad advice per se. And then let's look at the outcome. So the outcome that we have is the 6 of Swords. You can see the 6 of Swords right there. Again, swords are about the mental. There's a wand in his hand, which is actually the oar, which is about action. So we have a little bit of action, but quite a bit of mental things going on here. We're moving in a direction, but more than anything, it's in our head. And what this is normally about is letting go of something that you're attached to. And it's not like you won't really have much of a choice about it. That's really the outcome here. It's the process of letting go is very difficult sometimes for some of us. But the sadness of loss will be replaced with greater clarity, calmer waters. And that's what this is about. You're going from those rough waters or rougher situations and all, and you're moving into a more positive direction. But to get there, you really have to kind of let go of some attachment to things. And it could be the job itself. But just understand, though, that to get to the calmer waters, you have to get through the rough patches. And this would just be like the end of the rough patch. It wouldn't be anything too dire or anything like that. But more better things are coming in other words. And what is the key or the answer to this? Getting this kind of an outcome to get to the better place? It's the 7 of Cups. Cups are about relationships. 7 of Cups is really about, picking your whatever you want, as far as relationships and all that go. Cups are also about emotions, having control of your emotions and that. But, there's different emotions, as you can see, kind of with this. It's also different material possessions, and so on and so on. Some are more desirable than others. So to get to a better place, you actually have to kind of let go of fantasies and dreams and things that you're not really sold on, and I guess become more aligned with those dreams. But in terms of the alignment, it would be more with like your actions or your desire. This particular card here is a wish card, just so you know. It's also a 7. Sevens are very spiritual cards normally. I mean, this is normally a lot of times when 7 comes up and all, it's more about like maybe we're taking the path of like a monk, for example. Just kidding. That's a little monk humor there for you guys. Yeah, I mean, so now that we have this reading done and everything, let's get down to brass tacks and actually talk about what's going on. So I'm just going to take a second here to see what happens. I'm calibrated to about 3 months out. And so I'm picking up that it's an interesting kind of energy going on. I'm picking up maybe that you don't really want to be at this job too much longer. There's a part of you that does, but there's a part of you that doesn't. And I'm picking up that maybe in about like 7 weeks from now, something along those lines, about 7 weeks. But 7 weeks, maybe something from your past is going to come back into play. I don't know if you're necessarily going to lose a job. It may be just that you're going to be reprimanded, but there's a part of you that I'm picking up is maybe just not 100% completely satisfied with this job. That maybe there's something that is more preferable to you. I'm sort of picking that up. And I'm also kind of sensing that you could get out of that job here pretty soon. Very, very soon, maybe. 3 or 4 days, 2, 3, 4 days, maybe. And just let it go. Then the thing to bear in mind with all of this is that you have all the resources in front of you. You can handle this situation tomorrow. It's not a big deal. You have the resources and the capabilities and the know-how and the wherewithal to be able to handle it. So good, bad, or indifferent, whatever comes, you'll be able to handle it in the best way possible. So I wouldn't worry about tomorrow per se. But what I'm trying to do is try to help you out and give you some better understanding about just things that come down the pipeline here for you. And what I'm picking up is something about maybe in about like 7 weeks from now, some kind of an opportunity or something, maybe from the past, maybe a resource or something from the past that's going to come into play for you. And it's going to lead you down a different path. It may not be exactly from the past, but it will definitely have some kind of nostalgic feel to it. And another thing to keep in mind with it also is that I see you smiling, and I see you like excited and in a better state of mind, a better place than you are right now with this job. I don't really pick up that you're in a bad place with the job. I'm not really feeling too strongly on that. I just feel like that there's something better coming into play for you. And I would honor that. And even though it may be a little sad or unsettling to kind of let this thing go at some point, and ultimately that's your decision whether you do or don't. But I see that whatever you're desiring, is going to be there for you if you choose to let it come in. And that, even though this may seem like a negative, like letting go of something that's familiar to you, what will eventually happen is you'll come to the realization quickly on that it was really the best thing for you. So if you have any apprehensions or any holdback, I would say don't really hold back. I would just say move forward and let things work themselves out. And even though in the next week or two you may experience a little bit of almost like did I make the right decision? Just hold out a little bit longer than that. I know 7 weeks can seem like a long time out, but it's really not when you stop to think about it. And when that new thing comes into play and stuff like that, it'll be, I don't know 100% if it'll be completely right for you, but it'll definitely put a smile on your face and put you in a much better place. And it could very well be the right thing for you. I don't know 100%. I'm trying to pick that part up for you, but I'm not 100% sure on that at this point. Anyways, that's really the tarot card reading. And so as far as like what's going to be said or something like that, maybe like reprimanding or something I'm picking up, but it's more just kind of like a surface level. It's not going to be as serious or as deep. It's almost like tomorrow your boss will be busy with other things, and is going to be maybe too busy even to really talk with you much. So if there is a conversation, which is not exactly guaranteed precisely, but if there is a conversation, it's not going to be necessarily like you're going to get a raise or anything like that, but it could be like maybe reprimanded or questioned about something, and then it'll just be kind of forgotten and let go. Like the boss just kind of presents it there just to let, and then that's it. You'll be able to handle the situation, no problem, with your personality and the way you communicate and all these kind of things. It's not going to really catch you off guard too much. I mean, you're in the power seat. Let me just put it to you like that. So that's that. Well, I hope that this helps you. If you have any questions as your tarot coach, I'm always here for you, as I am for everyone. And guys, gals, everyone, please like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to help and support the monks and stuff here, you can go to helpbydonating.com, give a donation if it's in your heart. That lets us continue these types of services and to be able to take care of our basic needs, as well as spread love for God to others. And that's about it. So I hope to see you guys all on the next episode of Indirect Knowledge. If you want, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so that when we come back on, if you do happen to catch our program, you can ask us some questions and different things. Ask me some questions on there, and I will be happy to try and assist you with whatever questions that might be on your mind. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.